On the core page, the user can configure programs for core control. Core configuration is done through program inputs, with a total of 16 programs, across 2 core pages. Let's go ahead and show on a few examples how to configure core programs. On top of each program, there is a checkbox to enable the program. In the first program line, the user can select the core number from the highlighted dropdown. Let's select the second core for our example. The next line gives the user an overview of the core type. Here the user can see if the core is hydraulic, electric, pneumatic or mechanic, but without the possibility to change the type. Next, the user needs to select a reference axis for the core movement. This means that the core movement will depend on the selected axis movement, for example, injection. Now that the reference axis is selected, we need to choose the start condition. It's possible to move the core before or after the reference axis movement, in parallel, or in between the movement. If we select in between as the start condition, the next line will be enabled, where we can select at what stroke position the core movement should start. Let's say for example, we want the core to move when injection is at 50 mm. The next dropdown is used to select if the core should move in or out, and here we will choose to move in. The core can move based on time, or on the limit switch signal. If limit switch is selected, the core will move until it gets a feedback signal from a limit switch. If the signal does not come in the time period set in the highlighted input, an alarm will be generated to warn the user of a possible problem. If time is selected, then we can set for how long it should move in the highlighted input field. For our example, let's select time-based movement, and set it to 2 seconds. In case it's required to keep the pressure on the core axis at all time, the user can select the setting from the highlighted dropdown. In the 2 highlighted inputs, the user can set the speed and pressure of core movement. If the core movement needs to be delayed, a timer can be set in the highlighted input field. Now that we've set the in movement, let's quickly set the out movement for core 2, and take a look how it behaves during automatic cycle. For the out movement we will set up the second program. Reference core will be clamp open, and the movement should happen after it opens, in the out direction. It should move based on time, for the duration of 2 seconds. Now that both the in and out movement of core 1 is set, let's start the automatic cycle, and observe what happens. On the left we see the core page, and on the right, we can monitor the main axis movements from the status bar. The first point of interest is when the injection reaches 50 mm. At this point, injection stops, and the second core moves in, for 2 seconds. After the core movement is done, injection continues, as well as the rest of the cycle. Next, we are waiting for the clamp to open, after which the second core should move outward, again for 2 seconds. If we scroll down the page, below the program inputs, we can find the core sequence dropdown. If we enable it, a new set of inputs will appear underneath the program inputs. Core sequencing is used to decide core priority when 2 or more cores have same program settings. Let's make some changes to our programs first. For the first program, we will set core 2 to go inward before clamp opens. The second program we can keep the same. As we said before, core sequence is used when 2 cores are set up with the same program. Now we could go ahead and manually set up core 1, same like core 2, but there is a faster way. In the highlighted area, we can simply copy an already set up program to another one. So let's go ahead and copy program 1 to program 3, and program 2 to program 4. Now, we just need to change the core number, and put 1 instead of 2, and we are again ready to test. If no sequence conditions are set, before clamp opens, both cores move at the same time in, and once the clamp is open they both move out. If we want core 1 to move after core 2, then we need to set the sequence condition for program 3, to move after program 1, and for program 4 to move after program 2. Now, before the clamp opens, firstly core 2 moves in, and once it's finished, core 1 moves in, and then the clamp opens. Once the clamp is open, core 2 moves out, and after it, the first core moves out as well. All the way on the bottom of the page is a set of indicators to showcase the core status. It can show if the core is moving in or out, or indicate in which end position it is. We hope this video tutorial was helpful. If you have any other questions regarding Core Page, please leave a comment below, or contact us directly through our customer service channels. Thank you, and have a nice day.